Hey guys, happy Thursday. Today we are going to talk about our revising checklist, how we're going to go back through our papers and make sure that it has all the necessary components for you to have a successful story when you're finished with this. Remember, this final product, when you're done with it, is going to count as a test grade. Each day we've been working here is counted as a classwork grade. So you want to make sure you're doing all the right things here to make this the best story that you've written. So today what we're going to do is I'm going to walk you through the revising checklist. These are things that I want you to think about. Does your story have these elements? Next week, you're going to be reading one of your peers' papers and you're going to look and help them and see does their paper have these components in it, right? Okay, so we're going to go through this step by step today and just talk about what this means and what you're looking for. So the first thing you're going to look at is just does your paper have a focus, right? Did I talk to you? Did I mention in comments? Be careful. This is turning into a watermelon. This isn't a seed, right? Some of you, I made that comment and then you just marked your comment resolved but didn't change anything, right? Make sure your story is a succinct, singular event, a small event. It's not this happened and this happened. It doesn't walk you through a whole day where this tiny part of it happened 5 minutes of your day, right? Your story needs to be about those 5 minutes if that's the crazy part of your story, okay? Make sure that your story stays focused till the end, that you don't go off and tell me some random facts about your cousin Juliet who comes to visit twice a year or something, right? You've got to stay focused on the event. Your story's organized. Does it have a clear beginning that sets up the story for the rising action? You're building it up. Does it have that main event, that biggest part of your story, right? The climax, and you've told it in slow motion with all that imagery and all that detail where people feel like they're part of your amazing story, right? Does it reflect the feelings that you had in those moments? How were you feeling? How did your feelings change from the beginning into the rising action, the climax, the falling action, the resolution? How did you change during that story, right? How did your feelings change? Your experience change? Um, your conclusion, how did you end it? Did you wrap it up? Did we understand what happened in the end? Do we understand your feelings, what you wish or hope for? Do you make a prediction? How do you end your story? Do you have transition words? We just talked about those transition words a few days ago. Does your story have them? It needs to in order to have that smooth, fluid flow, right? Is your story, are the details related to each other? It's not like random facts just plopped down in the middle of your story. All right, moving forward, support and elaboration. Does your story have the specific details so that I understand and your readers understand what happened in your story? Okay. Check for, now here's something that we haven't talked about too much before, these so what details. And here's what I mean about that. If you throw in a random fact in the middle of your story that doesn't really relate, it doesn't help the reader with imagery, it's just a rando fact, that's like, so what? Does it matter? Does it does it make any difference? If not, toss it out. Okay? If it's not helping set the stage, if it's not helping to build the scene, if it's not telling about the event or helping move the plot along in some way, just think about it. Is it like, does the story change without it? Does it help the story? If not, chuck it out. All right, your rising action has to be the main events, and those closing actions are well developed with specific, relevant elaboration, right? You have to tell us where we feel like we're there. It can't just be like a checklist of this happened, then this happened, then this happened, then this happened. It's got to have where it's a full story, okay? Make sure you have good, diverse word choice. You have excellent vocabulary, especially for a 9 or 10-year-old. Use it. Words are power, guys. The more words you know, the more power you have. The more words you know, the more you understand what other people are saying, and the more opportunity you have to express yourself in unique ways. Make sure that you have those powerful verbs in there. You've used very specific words to make your sentences and story come alive. Make sure that you have good sentence variety. Every sentence shouldn't start with I was, I was, I was, I was, I was. You make sure your story's in past tense. I've marked a lot of you for saying that you've had issues with your verbs. No, you're telling it in future tense or present tense. This already happened. It should all be in past tense. Okay, but some of you just marked resolved but didn't make those changes, and you're going to lose a lot of points for that. So fix it. Okay. Also, lots of you still are saying me and Mrs. Boone. Da 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 da. No, 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 no. Mrs. Boone and I. Right? Don't be a narcissist. You do not put yourself first. Put others first, okay? Also, I should always be capitalized if it's a word, okay? Guys, those you're going to get slaughtered if you don't do those two things because those are not fourth grade skills. Those are way back, okay? Make sure you've edited those, okay? All right, conventions. So complete sentences, capital letters, ending with punctuation. If your story has dialogue, guys, some of you, we've talked about dialogue many days, and some of you still don't have any dialogue in your story. Okay, you have to have dialogue, and it has to be punctuated correctly. Remember on our rubric from the 1 to 4 in that top section, you can't make a 3 or a 4 if you don't have dialogue that's punctuated. Okay, you could only make a 1 or 2, so it's important. Okay, the story's been edited for spelling. Guys, you're doing this on a computer, so you all have spell check. If it has the red squiggly line underneath it, you need to check the spelling. If your spell check's not working, then you're going to have to bust out a dictionary or go to dictionary.com. Got to have correct spelling in this because it's on a computer. Okay, check your verb tenses. One more time, I'm going to tell you it needs to be in past tense. The story has already happened. Okay. Guys, many of you have amazing, amazing, amazing stories. And those of you that have been making your edits as we've gone along, your story has just refined and it's just become more and more amazing each day. So I'm really, really proud of you. Keep it up. Go carefully through this list. And then you are going to make those edits to your story because next week should be a slam dunk, easy peasy for you because you've done all the changes as we've gone along. And then you're going to get that amazing score that you want. So today, the way that you're going to let me know that you have watched this video is you are going to put a check mark. I like this green one here. You know, my favorite colors are green and blue. There we go. See if I can get it to insert here. There we go. It's coming. Whoa, how about that? All right, you're going to make a check mark on your last slide. Remember, today we're looking at slides 53, 54, and 55. You can make a check mark on here for me to let me know that you watched, and you need to go back into your story and make those edits. Remember, I can look up here and I can see at the top and on the cover of yours when you opened your slides and whether you've made those edits or not. And so that's why sometimes I have people asking me like, Billy Bob says he did his work, and I'm like, Billy Bob hasn't even opened his slides, right? I can see that. So make sure that you're going back and making these edits. It's going to matter. It's a test grade, and this is probably the last, if not only test grade we're going to have this quarter in writing, okay? Boys and girls, I'm proud of you. Keep it up. Keep up the amazing writers. Remember, when you're a famous author one day, you're going to come back to room 35, and you're going to come and visit my class and tell them all about it. Take care, guys. Love you. Bye.